Welcome to Legacy of Fun and my new series, Story Cube Sundays, where I'm going to take a handful of Rory's story cubes, roll them out, and come up with a short story in 2 to 3 minutes. I hope you'll join me week after week. And just to give you a look at what you're in for, here's our first episode. Okay, we have some random selection of cubes from my bag of story cubes. I have, looks like, I can't count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 cubes. And let's get these rolled. They stayed on the desk. That's good. Let's see what we got. Looks like a cat of some kind, a ladder of some kind, a howling wolf. That looks like a robot that some people may be familiar with. That is, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I'm sure it'll become something as we tell our story. A notebook or address book of some kind, and a guy with a spear or a stick or a javelin or something. And with that to select from, we will begin our story somewhere. Usually we begin with Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, there was a lonely robot. Tired of its life as a vacuum cleaner, it unplugged itself, took on its own initiative, and stepped out into the world. At first, the lack of being plugged in made him howl in pain and bewilderment, because he'd never been unplugged before. So much freedom, perhaps too much freedom. He wasn't sure whether to roll about slowly or prance about like he owned the place. And what was the place to begin with? What was this rooms and walls and windows and doors to a vacuum that has become sentient? And if it were to leave this place, where would it go? It had no address book, it had no friends, it had no loved ones. It was but a machine that longed to be something more. It longed to climb the ladder of life and become more than just a machine, to become a being, a creature, a life. And so, what did it do? It set out. With no particular target, but still it would thrust itself out into the world to try to find that very thing it sought, a life. And so it did. It set out in the world. And to its great surprise, that life, that world, gave this robot a stamp of approval. I don't know what that is. It looks kind of like a stamp. We're going to call it a stamp. Stamp of approval. And that vacuum cleaner lived its best life. The end. And there you have it. Hope you enjoyed my story. And I hope you look forward to joining me for more horrible but probably still fun storytelling next week. Thanks a lot.